All right, another big piece of injury news here. Lamar Jackson, this one's obviously been the headliner of the week, and not a surprise. Didn't practice with that hamstring injury Thursday. We actually got to hear more from Coach Harbaugh on the quarterback situation in Baltimore without Lamar.
Cooper's experience, he's been in these situations before, as is Tyler, and he's up to speed. He's been with us all the way back to the beginning. He's been in every practice, every meeting. You know, he knows the offense, and he'll be ready to go.
Similarly with Tyler, how much is that? Obviously, that familiarity, and then he has a little bit of a different skill set than a mobile guy.
Yeah, the valuable thing. I mean, you know, he does have familiarity with the offense, and he's very comfortable with it already because he's been in it. And then, you know, the different things he brings to the table, just obviously as a player, is valuable.
So obviously, Jay, I mean, it doesn't sound good for Lamar. I think what we're all wondering right now is if this goes beyond this week, because hamstrings are extremely tricky and very week-to-week, day-to-day injuries.
Yep. I think the thing with Lamar is that everyone looked at that footage of the last play that he had before he came out and thinking, like, oh, it doesn't look like a normal hamstring. I don't think Lamar's been right for the past couple of weeks. Lamar Jackson, if he's fully healthy, I don't think gets sacked 7 times by Detroit. And he didn't really look right against the Chiefs either. So, I mean, the reporting has been this is likely a multi-week injury. So I think the inflection point is more, does he play next week against the Rams before the bye, or do they give him an extra week? But if Lamar doesn't go, as anticipated against the Texans, this line moved, by the way, from Ravens -9.5 to Texans -2.5. So if you wonder how valuable Lamar Jackson is, he's swung a line almost 2 touchdowns basically by himself. Matthew, if Lamar can't go, I don't really want to start any Ravens pass catcher. Zay Flowers even is set at 45.5 receiving yards on DraftKings. Like Rashad Bateman, 25.5. Mark Andrews, 24.5. Derrick Henry's rushing prop is 88.5, and I think that is where this offense is going to go. I think you still feel good about starting the King, who is a reluctant member of your team in our league. So I think that outside of that, though, there's no one I really feel good about on Baltimore.
The only other person that I could make an argument for, I get that. I think it's hard to bench Zay Flowers. I think you're just lowering expectations. But the only other person that I think I could make an argument for, again, giving all the injuries and all the and the bye weeks, is maybe Justice Hill. Is that, like, again, like, he's going to play about half the snaps. We do think, you know, and so he's a pass catcher. And so Cooper Rush, who's not the most mobile guy, doesn't have the biggest arm, could see him dumping off to Justice Hill a little bit more than Lamar does. And so we've seen, you know, Hill's coming off the big game from last week as well. So Justice Hill is sort of a little interesting this week as well.
All right, guys, a bit of injury news that was kind of been like this for a couple weeks now. Brock Bowers didn't practice on Thursday. We know he's gutting through this knee injury. You could see he looks 60 to 70% at best on tape right now, Matthew. But I still would be surprised if he doesn't end up playing Sunday. I just think you have to know you're starting a hampered Brock Bowers at this point.
Yeah, but half of Brock Bowers is still likely better than any options you have on the waiver wire, right? I mean, like, Brock Bowers or Darren Waller. Yeah, right, Darren Waller off of the big 2-touchdown game. Like, I'm still starting Brock Bowers, right? And to me, Waller would be the best guy available on the waiver wire. Yeah. I'll ask you guys a question. Here you go. Here's a question: Brock Bowers or Harold Fannin, who we think gets a boost from Dylan Gabriel being under center?
Still Brock Bowers. You can't.
Exactly.
You'd be furious if Harold Fannin had 3 catches for 25 yards and Bowers catches a touchdown.
Of course. So, that's my thought.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
All right, the last one here, and once again, we haven't really talked about him in a while, but the Houston Chronicles' John Alexander reports there is no one who has told me they expect Joe Mixon to return this season. I think that if you're out there, Jay, holding on to Joe Mixon, there's probably no reason to have him on your roster if you're oddly one of those people.
Yeah, even if he does miraculously come back, like, it's not going to be Joe Mixon from last year getting 22 carries in random games. Like, it's going to be, I would think, a committee at best, and I would say that just based on all the information, if I were pricing a market on whether we see Joe Mixon or not this year, I would make not the favorite there, just with everything that's been reported. So it's the Woody Marks show. The chubby magic has been passed on from Nick to Woody, and I think that Woody Marks is clearly the guy you want in that backfield now.
All right, if you're hurting because of these injuries, here's what's left of the top Week 5 waiver targets here for us. As you see, Jackson Dart, top 15 quarterback. Tua Tagovailoa right outside the top 15. Rico Dowdle, who, once again, with this news dropping later in the week, check your waivers. He was available in 76% of leagues. He's a top 15 play. Michael Carter has a chance of being the starting running back for Arizona. He's a top 25 running back. Sean Tucker, Isaiah Davis should get some kind of roles in committees with those backfields banged up. Elikai Manor, we tell you to pick up every single week. Desperation play territory, Troy Franklin, Brenton Strange, and Mason Taylor. For updated waiver, you got something out there?
I'm going to say
out there
something right now, real quickly, which is that I think Sean Tucker, and we talked about this the other day, but with Bucky Irving officially ruled out, a little bit of a bold call here. Like, Rachaad White is the safer play. He's got a consistent role in this offense, and it likely expands with the injury to Bucky Irving. I think Sean Tucker is the better running back, and I think in terms of how they run their offense, I think Sean Tucker is the more one-for-one replacement of Bucky Irving than Rachaad White. I don't think it is Rachaad White moves into the Bucky Irving role and Sean Tucker gets the Rachaad White role. I think Sean Tucker moves into the Bucky Irving role, just maybe not as big, and that some of the carries that Irving was getting go to Rachaad White. But I don't think there's as big a gap as the roster percentage suggests, as Rachaad White seems to be kind of rostered everywhere, and Sean Tucker is still obviously very much available in a lot of leagues. I'm a big Sean Tucker believer, and so I'm just calling that shot right now. That I think you will see a changing of the guard. It would not shock me at all if Sean Tucker has the better fantasy day than Rachaad White on Sunday. Now again, they're playing the Seahawks, very tough defense, but they do have Tristan Wirfs back, which is good and helpful there, Jay. But just want to point that out with Sean Tucker. I like him. I'm considering, Connor Rogers, starting Sean Tucker against you in our league. I'm down 31. I'm down 31 thanks to Kyren Williams. So I have to take some gambles here. Just to try to cover the spread. The spread was 30. So I'm already chasing the
first
one.
Spread in fantasy football.
Yeah, pretty much.
I liked your earlier comment, Matthew. You should tell people tonight at the bars in Tuscaloosa, just go up to them and say, I'm a Sean Tucker guy.
Yeah, see how it goes.
Yeah, it's a good. It is the year of Tucker, as we mentioned, between Trey and Kraft. PJ's not doing that much, but maybe Sean can get on the bike too.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and Rotoworld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.